Hi guys, my name is Alyssa and welcome back to my channel. So I think that you guys are really interested in psychic gifts. So I wanted to bring up some psychic gifts that I did not mention because they do not just happen. The ones that I brought up in my other video, which I will link below if you haven't seen it, are pretty much devoted to signs. If you have heavy influence in those signs, you will have this psychic gift and you can tap into it. And I go in to explain what factors in your childhood might have affected that, and so on, whatever. Some gifts every single person can do. So we're gonna talk about those, and then we're gonna talk about some gifts that not everybody can do and what specifically has to be in your chart to make it happen. I will be talking about astral projection, empathy, automatic writing, and being a medium, talking to dead people. So if you just want to skip ahead, you can find the timestamps and you can go look at those. If you do not know your chart, I'm going to link astro.com. That way you can find out, where your planets are and how that's working. So let's talk about astral travel first, okay? Astral travel. It's being able to get out of your body and travel in the astral sphere, right? You are not just traveling in your physical body, you're traveling outside of it. It's interesting because astral projection is related to manifestation and law of attraction. All of that, it's all correlated because they have to do with outside of your body. Not everybody is made for that. Now, this is a Jupiter quality, but if you have a Sagittarius placement, this does not mean that you are capable of astral traveling. The only way you can know is if your Jupiter is in a certain sign, because this is about your Jupiter. So everybody has a Jupiter, and our Jupiter brings us luck, but it also brings things sort of out of our body and out of our reach, which is why it's luck. It's like you didn't go for it. You didn't work hard for it, but it came to you. What is that? That's about living outside of your actual physical reality and your physical body. So what people do to harness this sort of gift is they actually, law of attraction, manifestation, all of that stuff. This is what brings luck. Minimum amount of physical effort in the real world, but maximum amount of reward. That's why people are really into it. It seems like a big loophole. Jupiter can help you astral project. If your Jupiter is in Sagittarius or Aquarius, or if it has some form of hard aspect to those signs, to another planet in those signs. Your Jupiter might be in Gemini, but you have Venus in Sagittarius. There's a hard aspect from that Gemini Jupiter going to Sagittarius, which allows for expansion outside of your body. You can utilize your Jupiter in any sign to manifest, though a lot of times people with their Jupiters and say if your Jupiter's in Capricorn, you might actually have a very hard time manifesting because Capricorn requires actual physical labor, which can mean you end up wasting a lot of time on changing your thoughts instead of going forward into the future. So these are fun psychic abilities or things, but they are things that you have to watch out for. Not everybody can do them. And it's just one of those things that you need to know about, because it might seem like it's kind of working, but it's probably because your positive thoughts are helping you move in the right direction. If you give it all up and you don't work for it physically, it might actually be harming you. Now, another thing, automatic writing. Anybody can automatic write. Okay, this is interesting because it's a very mercurial thing. Everybody has a Mercury in their chart. It doesn't matter what sign your Mercury is in. What the sign and house of your Mercury is actually going to tell you how you automatic write. So, for instance, if you have your Mercury in an air or fire sign, you might actually find that if you've ever tried to auto write or even auto communicate, it can be a little bit difficult. For instance, if I'm ever going to just automatically write, where I'm not thinking about it, I turn on music that I really like and I make it really loud. Why? Because this mumbles my head, so my head's thinking about something else, but I'm still capable of typing, and I'll start typing. Sometimes though, it's like word salad. You see a lot of people in spiritual communities who practice automatic writing. They write and it comes out like word salad, like weird things all over the place. And people whose brains are also sort of wired in that weird way, they understand what that person's saying because it's on their level, but it's not an actual physical level. It's up in the space age. So what happens is that it looks a little bit wrong a lot of times when you automatic write. So you have to proofread yourself afterwards. But most everybody can do that if you put your time and energy into it. You figure out ways to do it. Like I said, I do the music thing. but you could do, sometimes people find it's easier to do it when they're listening to classical music, but I don't. I can't do it. If I'm listening to classical music, my brain is working so well that I have to write what's in my head. Another one, empath. Anybody has the ability to be an empath. An empath is when you get out of body and you lose your emotional boundaries, your protection of yourself. A lot of people become empaths the more sensitive they become. And the more sensitive you are is directly related to how deep and dark you allow yourself to go. People who practice light work and lighter, they are more sensitive. They're more empathic. Why? Your emotions are looking for a stable energy. They would like that to be inside of you. But if you are not paying attention to your emotions, they will latch on to somebody else. Once your emotions are latched on to somebody else, you are picking up their emotions. You're feeling them. This is what empathy is. This is what being an empath is. Anybody can do this. You just have to get out of your body. So someone who does practice law of attraction, manifestation, all of that would also be more likely to be an empath. But anybody can do it. The last one I want to talk about is being a medium. Now, medium, specifically talking to dead people. We can channel messages, okay? We can take them in. Most people have an ability. In my last video, you'll kind of see there's all different ways that we take in messages through clairaudience, clairfactal, clairgustance, clairvoyance, clairsentience. You take in these messages, you're channeling the messages. But to specifically talk to dead people. Now, you might think that that would be a Scorpio placement. But the reason why that is not true, and anyone who practices astrology will know, is that Scorpio is technically like the dead person. They are transforming all the time in a spiritual sense. They're coming back to life always and forever. They see a lot of dark shit. And for the most part, they're not looking to go talk to darker things. People with a lot of 8th house energy are not necessarily always looking to go talk to that. But to actually be able to communicate with the dead, to talk to the dead, and to have the dead talk to you, there's only one placement that allows this. And that is when you have a planet bending the nodes. Now, if you don't know what the nodes are, the South Node and North Node, or Ketu and Rahu respectively, they are what some people will call your destiny. This is not your actual physical earth destiny. You are not guaranteed to reach this in this lifetime. This is a spiritual destiny, meaning you might actually never reach your North Node. And you can, but it's your free will. We have free choice. Destiny and fate mean that somewhere along the line you don't have free will because it's fated. It's going to happen whether or not you want it to. There is something that we are destined for, and that is actually in numerology. It's not in astrology, because astrology is also outside of time and space, and it's projected into your body when you're born. Your North and South Node are basically your timeline of many lifetimes. So you will reach it one lifetime, hopefully. If you reach it in this lifetime, it will make you happy. You desire your North Node. It makes you happy to be around it, to be near it. What happens when a planet is bending your nodes? It means it's square your nodes. This means that this planet in your chart is also connected outside the sphere of your physical reality. It's still in the sphere because it's there, but it's at a crucial challenge point. It's at a hard aspect, the square, to both your nodes, creating a T-square. A T-square looks like this in your chart. It's like red. It's a red triangle. And what this does is it puts you into a circle outside of your own physical reality, puts you sort of in another dimension. And that way you can actually communicate with the dead. If you are a medium, you have this. It's not like super rare. It's not super common, but it does mean that if you do have it, you could tap into it. So that means you could have a Scorpio moon, a Gemini moon, any other sort of moon or anything, and tap into being a medium if you have a planet squaring your nodes. Now, also, you have to kind of think about what that planet is to tell you how hard it would be, to tell you if you do it without yourself knowing, etc. You could have multiple planets squaring your nodes. Whatever that is, it's going to tell you a story about the things that you are picking up from the other dimension, like from the other side of death. If you also look at this, your body and your soul, when you die, they go be reborn again. That's the circle of life. We are reborn again. So are we stuck in a static atmosphere like as a ghost? Or is that what leaves our body as soon as we die and sticks around outside time and space forever to access at any point. But it doesn't mean that that person is really there. It's just consciousness still there for us to access at any moment in time. And that's what that is. It's not like you're reaching out to heaven and you're talking to this ghost. Energy cannot die. It just gets repurposed as something new. So when you die, your body goes back into the ground, your soul goes back to the sky. That consciousness is still there for us to access. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.